In Dungeons & Dragons, you have 6 ability scores: Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma. Each one represents the best to weakest traits for your character, oftentimes leaning into the primary ability for your class. For instance, if you're a fighter where you primarily brandish a sword and shield, then Strength and Constitution are going to be your focused abilities. If you're a wizard, then Intelligence for your spellcasting. Cleric and Druid will be Wisdom for their spellcasting, so on and so forth. And as always, unless otherwise stated by an ability, feat, or weapon. However, how do you get these ability scores? Well, my friends, that comes down to 3 methods. Your Dungeon Master will state which one they are going to do during Session 0 or the lead up to Session 0 for character creation guidelines. And it should be noted, many Dungeon Masters have a house rule or variant on any one of these. What's being presented here is what you'll find in the PHB. Number 1. Standard Array. Standard Array is the easiest to explain. Along with the dice method, Standard Array is one of the official methods. You have a series of 6 numbers: 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8. You can take these numbers and place them anywhere of your choice. The benefit of this method is that it creates for a uniform experience, where one player isn't going to be more powerful because they min-maxed or got lucky on die rolls. Not only that, it does make character creation rather quick. The downside is that it's also not that interesting. While the uniform nature of it is nice, it can create for a rather bland experience. Number 2, point buy. This is a variant method, but it is one that can come up. For point buy, you are given 27 points to spend accordingly on a stat. Each stat costs a specific amount according to this chart. The chart starts at 8 and goes up to 15. 8 costs 0 points and 15 costs 9. So if you want to grab a 15, subtract 9 from 27, and those are your remaining points you have left to spend. The benefit of this method is that it can be highly customizable. You can make your character the way you envision them via stats. Not only that, like Standard Array, it can lead to characters being decently strong, but not overly so. The downside though is that it can lead to min-maxing, where you basically just buy 3 15s and have 3 8s, which if you're curious, that's where the term min-maxing comes from. You minimize one stat to max out another. Number 3, dice. This is the most common and popular method. Along with Standard Array, it's one of the primary methods in the 2014 rules. Here, you roll 4d6 and drop the lowest. What you do is you roll 4 6-sided die and drop the lowest results. And the 3 remaining numbers, that's what you get. And these are also the results that I got. The benefit here is that it is completely random. The dice are informing you about your character, and honestly, it's kind of fun. However, the downside is probably apparent. Since it's random, this can lead to some players getting everything they want and others getting, well, rather screwed. That being said, out of all of these, you're probably going to see more homebrew of this method by comparison. Now, just because we got our 6 numbers doesn't mean that's final for our character. We still have to add the stat bonuses. If you're playing with the 2014 rules, then you'll add your species bonus. For this, we're going Fighter and Mountain Dwarf. Based on that, we get a +2 Constitution for being a dwarf and a +2 Strength for being a Mountain Dwarf. So we'll put a 2 in the 14 and 16. Bringing those up to 16 and 18 respectively. The good news is, if you're using the 2024 rules set, this same premise applies, but instead of species bonus, it's now backgrounds. Finally, there is an optional rule called lineage option from Tasha's. Here, you get a +2 and a +1 to any ability score of your choice, but they can't be the same ones. So we'll put a +2 in the 16 and a +1 in the 15, which will be our Strength and Constitution scores respectively. Once you've done that, you have your character ability scores. As always, check with your DM on which rules and methods they are doing. They should inform you right away or at session 0. Also, let's have some fun and share below your favorite house rules for getting ability scores below. And that'll do it for this video, folks. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.